what do you think in terms of that? And for the town's efforts on alleviating the traffic, I know you talked about optimizing the lights. I'm curious to know if you worked with other organizations like DOT or NJTPA, some of those regional organizations. It feels kind of like we're beholden in some way to make a decision and make a big move. And this plan being as old as it is, I'm wondering why the rush now? I'm just curious.
Okay, thank you. These are great questions. So I think the 2008 plan was included with the council packets. I'll make sure that both the 2004 designation and the 2008 redevelopment plans are made available on the website just for people's background reference. The question about bicycles up on the sidewalk, you know, there's going to be an interesting balancing that we've talked about with our engineers and with Councilman Armington. So right now, Morristown's, given the kind of limited right-of-ways and the distances we have between curb to curb, we can't do protected bike lanes and things like that, like you see on like 7th Avenue in New York City, as much as we might like the idea. We do share roads pretty much consistently throughout the town where we can. So bicycles and vehicles share the roads within, you know, the cartway of the roads. One of the things that we've talked about, and this is one of those detailed things that needs to get worked out with the planning board, but what we have in these drawings showing an angled bike ramp, so a bicycle while it's traveling, maybe like not at, you know, at speed, but a slow down, and to kind of be able to get up onto the sidewalk in order to traverse the roundabout. We've talked about, and the redevelopment plan talks about the idea of potentially converting this area, this piece of sidewalk in here, into more of a shared use path that could accommodate a bicycle, while it's, rather than have that bicycle try to go inside the roundabout. So, but otherwise, our town ordinance, I think everybody over 12 years old can't ride their bicycle on the sidewalk, generally speaking. We may create a special type of sidewalk here that's like a shared use bike lane just on the other side of that curb. It's going to depend on distances and things like that, so that accommodation can be made. It's again something that needs to be, it's provided for in the plan, and it needs to be engineered. There was a question about the schedule, and rather than switch speakers right at this late, I'll just tell you that the schedule and the phasing will be dealt with in the redeveloper agreement to be executed between the town and the redeveloper if that comes to pass. And there will be very strict kind of start and completion times with that. So, and finally the other question was, do we work with DOT? We were with DOT for an hour and a half today, negotiating green times. How much green should that one get? How much green should that one get on these different intersections? So yes, we are beholden. If we're beholden to anybody, we're beholden to NJDOT in this town because we have 2 state highways running through us, and every time we want to change a signal, we have to go to them. And we have to talk about why Spring Street needs more green time and Speedwell should get less and whatever. So we're doing the best we can. Of all the towns, you know, Councilman Deeb says I know how other towns are working. This town is the most sophisticated, and it's really a system that we've built by hand out of necessity to try to figure out how to take control of our future in terms of mobility. So we're doing, things will get better here. I can say that, mobility-wise.
Okay. All right, at this time, seeing no more comments from the public, I'd like to close the public hearing for the meeting this evening. Okay.
Yeah, there's one.
There's
one ordinance on the agenda this evening, ordinance number O-42-2019. An ordinance approving and adopting an amended Spring Street sorry.
It's late.
Let me start over. An ordinance approving and adopting an amended Spring Street redevelopment plan for portions of the lands comprising Block 3504, portion of Lot 1, and Block 3505, lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.01, 7.02, 7.03, 7.04, 8, 9, 10, 10.01, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, and a portion of lot 15, and block 4901, lots 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 on the official tax maps of the town of Morristown, County of Morris, State of New Jersey. Can I have a motion to introduce?
I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance number O-42-2019.
I'll second it.
The introduction of O-42-2019, Councilman Arlington.
Yes.
Councilwoman Deeb.
Yes.
Councilman Elms.
Yes.
Councilman Iannaccone.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
And Council President Foster.
Yes.
Ordinance O-42-2019 has been properly introduced by title and is scheduled for further consideration on October 10th after consistency review with the planning board on October 9th.
All right, before I make a motion to adjourn, I'd just like to thank all the members of the public for coming out to all of the various meetings, put your comments on the record, all your concerns. Everybody who worked hard and tirelessly on this project, so it's come a long way, and I'm glad to see all of the revisions that have been incorporated based on council comments and public input. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Morristown.